How's it going, guys? My name is Trevor, and today we're back in another video. This time we're doing a Twitch overview, channel analytics summary sort of video. Basically analyzing my statistics for my streams and all of that, and my entire Twitch channel, which you guys can check out in the description or on the screen right now, TJP. I'm streaming there every day in April, and also continuing to do so in May for the foreseeable future. So Twitch actually provides channel analytics on their site, but they also give you the ability to download like the data in spreadsheet form. It's a CSV, which then I convert it to an Excel file, which I think provides more value because then you can analyze even further with that data, which is what I did here. So as you can see, I'm not looking at my Twitch summary statistics on Twitch. I'm looking at them on this program called Tableau, which you guys can download. It's in the description. Basically, a little overview of what Tableau is. Basically, it's a data visualization, data analytics, data discovery tool that allows you to connect to a variety of different data sources such as Excel files, CSVs, JSON, databases, and then create these interactive visualizations for your consumers. So that way they can, drill up and down and try to figure out whatever you're trying to accomplish with the data, right? So, the version I'm using is Tableau Public. That is free for you guys to download. They have premium versions, Tableau Desktop, Tableau Server, Tableau Prep. There's a bunch of different products that Tableau sells, which you guys can explore on your own time. But I'm just using the free one, which has some limited functionality in terms of you can't save your workbooks locally, and also you can't connect to as many data sources. So with that being out of the way, I'm going to overview some of the views that I made. So for starters, one thing I will notice is that Twitch's summaries, statistics that they provide, aren't super duper perfect. They're not 100% accurate, but they're pretty close. But there are some things that I made some changes to that I will explain as we go through them. So new followers, that's the first thing. If someone unfollows me, that's not taken into account in the Twitch summary statistics. So it's a little higher than it should be, like in that range, but it more or less gets the point across. So as you can see, like my top 3 games in terms of gaining new followers have been Mario Kart 8, Scribble That I Own, Smash, and I've streamed those games the most. Also, Minecraft. I've streamed Minecraft 5 times, but I've gotten 0 followers out of it. So, as you can see there, despite the fact that I've streamed a lot, doesn't mean I'm going to gain followers. It's a lot of different variety of factors that would explain, that would go into why, which we might get into a little bit, but not too much. So yeah, number of streams. That's another thing. I created a new calculation because I basically could count the records to determine the number of times I streamed. Although, if you disconnect and then reconnect, sometimes Twitch will count that as another stream, which I don't want that to do. So, I had to actually make a calculation, something called a level of detail calc, which you guys could check out, like my calculations, like on Tableau Public, if you want to download the workbook and use it for yourself. It's 28 streams. It's actually 30 in the summary that I download, but I made it so it's 28, which makes more sense. And then percentage of followers by game, that's a table calc, which basically says, okay, take the number of followers by game, divide that by my total number of followers, and that's my percentage, right? So followers, I feel, is a pretty important metric because that allows you to grow. You need a certain amount of followers to get to, affiliate, and, that's important, I would say. First step into trying to grow. And then average viewership, that's another important step, right? Affiliate, you need at least 3. Twitch partner, I think you need 75, right? Across 30 days. So I feel like those are the 2 most important metrics. So as you can see here, the total average viewers is actually a sum. Tableau, the way that Tableau aggregates data with measures, they think that, okay, by default, we're going to read this as a sum. So I had to make a separate calculation, average viewers per stream. So that's basically just taking the total average viewers, dividing that by the number of streams to get my actual average view per stream. And of course, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is at 5.04. Then I have City Skylines at 4.70, but I only have it on 2 streams. So of course that could be like kind of skewed depending on the amount of times you stream the game, because your stream might have done so well this time, but then the other one's like down here, so then it's like balanced down the middle. So that's something to kind of keep like in track. Like if you do it more times and you still get higher viewership, then it's like, okay, that's a game that maybe should be in your lineup, right, of games that you want to stream. Here's another chart that I made going off viewership statistics. First 3 columns, those come straight from Twitch. The next one right next to it, the ratio between total and unique viewers, that one I made. So basically, I said for every unique viewer, this is how many total views I'll get. So if we're looking at Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, for every one unique viewer, I expect to see 2.22 total views. Not a great calculation, just like a supplemental one that I wanted to put in there. Then minutes watched, that is basically how many minutes have been spent for people watching the stream in total. So all my viewers, that's how much time they spent watching that game, right? Or that specific stream. Total, I've had over 13,000 people watch. And then percentage of minutes, that's another table calculation. So 31.66% have watched Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on my channel. And that equates to 4,120 minutes divided by 13,037. Again, table calculation that we brought up before with the followers. So it's something that you could do in Tableau. Pretty similar to, like I said before, VLOOKUP or some kind of lookup function in Excel or SQL window functions. But again, I'm not going to get too far technical into it. Chat interactivity, another thing that I feel is important, because if more people are in the chat, engaged in the stream, more likely it is that people want to stick around and watch, because maybe they'll want to participate in the chat. Maybe they'll be inclined to throw you a follow, maybe donate, whatever. So I figured, okay, this is another important metric that I feel will help you grow and help you build a community, right? So first 2 columns come straight from, again, Twitch. The next 2, those are my formulas. I made an average messages sent per chatter, then weighted average. Weighted average is going to be typically lower, but we're going to slip by that. Percentage of chat messages, again, another table calc, and then, of course, number of streams. I have that pretty much in every view, just to remind myself how many times I viewed it. So this chart here is interesting. So this chart right here is a viewer trends by game. So if I have enough data, what I could do in Tableau is actually forecast, right, how many people I would expect to view my stream, right, future streams. Unfortunately, I don't have enough data points to really go, about that. I don't know how many you need, but you need a lot. So maybe in like a year or so, I could potentially do it, or however many times it takes me to stream, like in the future. All right, but what it'll do with Tableau, like forecast, it'll give you an upper bound and a lower bound, like in terms of like your last data viewpoint. It'll be like, okay, the next stream you'll expect to see it fall somewhere in the line of here. So then they'll draw out a line, and then you'll have your upper bound, lower bound. Your line will be somewhere in the middle, right? And then trend lines, which is the little dash line. So it says, okay, so your viewership from first to last, it has a trend of going downward. So Scribble.io, my first stream was well. Then a few of them are kind of down. And then only did the last one did I see it go back up again. So overall, the trend for Scribble.io is down. But if I switch it to, let's say, something like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you can see that the trend is going up for Mario Kart 8. So I had up here, slightly down, but very marginal, and then way up here again. So, again, the trend for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is up. So this is a little drop-down menu. It's a filter. You guys can change it based on game. So there is one thing that I would like to show you here. So I call this the stream score. You can call it game score, stream score. I had a game score before. We'll call it stream score. Basically, it takes in a variety of different measures and metrics, and based on certain weight points and percentages, will give you a number such that like rates like how well the stream performed, right? So the higher your stream score is, the better the stream performed, or maybe that specific game performs on your channel, right? So the formula that I used for that, right, so it goes back in those 3 things that I mentioned before. New followers, average viewers, chatters, right? Anything with viewership and chatting and following, those have the highest percentage. So basically 90% of the stream score is basically filtered on new followers. That has the most weight. divided by this, plus the sum of the average viewers, that's 25%. Chatters, 15%. Max viewers, 15%. Then total unique views, that isn't too perfect, but I put that in there as a, an extra 0.5%, or 5%, I should say, weight for those two metrics, because maybe they hold some value, but not really that much. I'd say it's really more so the amount of followers, the viewers, and the chatters. Even more so than the max viewers, but I gave them the same weight because I guess it makes sense. Like, okay, I peaked here with this, so maybe that's something that if I can somehow figure out a way to retain people's attention, or maybe, experiment with that game. So, but those three metrics in general, though, because those are the things that, like, Twitch will look at and say, okay, wow, this person, is doing really well for themselves, and then you have the chance to grow up and rank up in terms of becoming an affiliate partner and then getting discovered. So I did those metrics in the numerator, but then I also have percentage of stream on channel. So the more streams I do, though, the lower that could be if the standards of, like, the followers, the viewers, and the chatters aren't maintained or they go down, right? And then I also divide the percentage of stream on the channel divided by the weighted average of people watching my stream. So basically, I did that. I weighted that minutes watched based on the amount of minutes I've streamed total, right? And then I multiply by the total stream count of my channel, and then I divide that by 100. That's how I get my metric. I just wanted to go with that because I feel like that gives a good indicator of what's going to perform really well on my Twitch channel, what isn't. So as you can see here, and this is what I expect, right? I expect Mario Kart 8 to be the highest because every time I stream that, people are always involved and I'm always playing with viewers and it's always a fun time, right? I tend to see the multiplayer games towards the top, although one outlier I would say is... there's actually a couple outliers. Clunker.io is not really an outlier because, again, it's a multiplayer game. I could play with viewers, but I only streamed it once. Whereas City Skylines I streamed twice, but it's a single-player game. But the first time I streamed it, it wasn't the performance wasn't as great. But the second time I streamed it, as you guys will see in the next view, in my top-rated streams by stream score, it's got the third highest rank. Right? So now instead of doing it by game, I did it by, like, individual stream day. So on this day, I played this game, and then here are my stats, right? My important stats, the metrics that go into my stream score. And you guys can see the stream score here. So my top 5, 4 out of 5 are Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, right? Which is incredible. So, obviously, what does that tell you? It tells you that people like that game. Now, you could probably figure that out just by looking at your Twitch summary channel analytics that are provided by Twitch, but I feel like this gives more of a better representation of what's going to work for your channel and what doesn't. So that's why I felt the need to pull that data and then analyze it more in depth, so that way I can build out, my stream schedule and maybe see what games I can potentially experiment with, or maybe the games I did experiment with, should I try it again? Should I not experiment with them anymore, right? Or maybe the games that I've been playing regularly, like, even though I enjoy them, is it worth it, streaming it when I could play a game that I maybe enjoy just as much, if not more, maybe just a little bit less, but still, be able to grow myself, right? So those are things that you kind of have to I'm taking into consideration. Surprisingly, Smash is low. That's something I kind of found interesting. I guess it's not really based on viewership, but it's more so about the interactivity of chat, maybe. That's probably bringing it down. In terms of, like, number of people that are in the chat, like, interacting. Maybe it's not enough people, right? Or maybe it's just not enough, like, total views as well. Like, that might be weighting it down a little bit. But I found that really interesting. And plus maybe the number of times I streamed it, I guess, too. Could have an effect on that as well. And then finally, top rated streams by day of week. This metric is not too bad, but it's also a little bit flawed because For some games like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Smash, I play those only exclusively on like one day. So basically, Sunday is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and then Saturday is basically Smash, right? And then there are a few other games here that I think Scribble.io has always been Tuesday. So, and then a few other days, like Thursday, for example. Thursday is my worst performing day, and I think part of that has to do with the fact that that's a day where I've experimented a lot with different games, and those games may not have performed well. Like, for example, Cards Against Humanity, that was my worst performing stream. And then I have Minecraft, which is way towards the bottom, even though I enjoy playing it. It's going to be hard to grow in a game like that where so many other people are playing it, right? So, that's probably why it's so low. And then you got your middle of the pack. But obviously, Sunday is by far my highest performing day, and that is because of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Now, I'm streaming it in May on Thursdays. So, I want to see Thursdays and Sundays. So, I want to see, like, May's data. When I load that in, will Thursday go up? I would expect to see Thursday rise towards the top. If, of course, I can maintain the viewership for that. But, that's going to be it for the video. I kind of just wanted to make somewhat of a semi-short, like, tutorial. Not really a tutorial, but like a show through. I guess it's a little bit of a tutorial because you guys can maybe see like where my thought process was with this, and you guys could take a look at my formulas that I made Tableau Public in the description. You guys could download the workbook and load it up for yourself and play around, or you could, you know, make your own if you guys stream. So I kind of just wanted to lay out like my first month on Twitch and just analyze my statistics. I kind of feel like Twitch does a pretty good job, but there are some things that I feel like they could add to make it a little bit more robust, what they provide you. And since they don't provide that, I have to go in there, or anyone else has to go in there and maybe get more ingrained into the data. They have to dig for it themselves. So I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time.